2019 question 14. Consider the following reaction, and you're given the chemical equation. Which of the following statements is or are correct? Option 1, the oxidation number of chromium decreases. Now, you'll learn more about oxidation number in Book 2B, in redox reactions if you haven't. But here, chromium is our target. Now, a lot of you, after seeing chromium, you would immediately start to look at obviously the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's this NH42Cr2O7 immediately you'll start to most likely maybe you'll come towards hydrogen here and put a positive one for the oxidation number there. Now for that, take a calm down a bit and see whether you can make things more simple. Over here, actually you can do one thing. You could actually split it into two if you think about it. Here on the right hand side, this looks pretty familiar. What is this? Yep, this is dichromium ion. And on the left hand side over here, this is also quite familiar. You're quite familiar with it. This is ammonium ion. Hey, now you can split it into two actually. You can cut it into half. Now it's much more simple to find oxidation number. But to do that, don't forget, let me bring back, because our aim is to find chromium, the oxidation number of chromium. So I'm just going to bring it down over here, Cr2O7. Don't forget, now that you have split it into two, you need to add back the charge on it. So the charge is 2 negative. Now you can find the oxidation number. Now obviously you're going to find the oxidation number of oxygen first, and that's how you're going to find the oxidation number of chromium. But most of the times you may ask me, sir, how do I find the oxidation number? I suggest you to always start with the more electronegative atom first. So here the more electronegative atom, which you'll learn more about in Microscopic World 2, Book 2C, is oxygen. Oxygen is in group 6. The charge for group 6 atoms is 2 negative. So the oxidation number is -2. And don't forget, because there are 7 oxygen atoms here, you need to times it by 7. And the overall charge for this is 2 negative, so it should be equal to -2. Okay? Now for chromium on the other hand, chromium here, whatever my oxidation number is, I don't know, but over here I know that there are 2 chromium atoms here. So don't forget you need to times it by 2, and there's a plus sign here. Maybe I'll write it better. So whatever the oxidation number is, times it by 2 plus whatever you find, whatever you calculate. So here you should get, eventually when you do the math, you should get that the oxidation number of this chromium on the left is +6. Okay, now on the right hand side, I'm going to go ahead and bring this down here, which is Cr2O3. Same thing. I'm going to start off with the more electronegative atom. Actually, there's only one atom, so you're going to start off with that anyway. So here, again, because it's oxygen, the oxidation number is -2, and there are 3 oxygen atoms here. Okay. And then what's the overall? There's no overall charge here, so it should be equal to 0 for any compound or elements. There, at the end, you should have a 0 there. And finally, for chromium, this is what I need to find, the oxidation number of chromium. Don't forget there are 2 of them here, so times it by 2 and add the plus sign. Now you can do the math for this, and eventually you'll get that the charge on this chromium is +3. Now you can see obviously the oxidation number was +6 initially, and now it is +3. Obviously it has decreased, so option 1 is correct. Okay. Option 2, it says only covalent bonds are broken and formed. Only covalent bonds. Now you may say, sir, how do I do this? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I'm not sure. Like maybe for water, I know because both of them are nonmetals. Nitrogen, I know because it's obviously nonmetal, so it's a covalent bond. And the rest, I'm not sure. Okay, don't worry. Remember I said you could split it into two because it looks kind of familiar on the left over here? Just bring that back down here. What was it again? You had NH4+, which is ammonium ion, and you had Cr2O7 2-, which is dichromium ion. And obviously, it's pretty simple now. You can see there are two ions present. Obviously, this is an ionic compound, or you can say an ionic bond that's present here. There's an ionic bond there. So of course this is not true. There's not only covalent bonds, there's also ionic bond. But anyway, since you knew option 1 was correct, so obviously options B and D are going to be wrong anyway. But let's look at the last one now. It says green solid turns to orange solid. Now you can see the colors that I was using originally. For dichromate ion over here, it's orange in color, so it should be orange. And the other ion that's on the other side is chromium ion, which should be green. So it's the other way around. So the only answer for this is A.